So in our gospel today, Jesus comes to this pagan territory, the region of the Gadarenes, and we witness him effecting this bizarre exorcism, right? This is a bizarre account. He drives these possessed men, these demons out of these men, and they ask where they can go. Send us into those pigs. He says, okay, go for it, go into them, and they hurl themselves headlong over the cliff into the sea, and they drown. Okay, there's so much that could be said about all of this, but here's what I want to just zero our attention in on, is I find the response, not just of the swineherds, but of the whole town. The whole town. I find it so illuminating for my own heart. I'll just speak for myself, and for how I often respond, how I think many of us probably often respond when we witness the, I'll put it this way, the jarring work of Jesus in our lives. It's an interesting response. Let me be more specific. I'll put it this way. What do we do? How do we respond when Jesus seems to make things more difficult in our lives? Like when our lives become harder or seemingly more complicated or seemingly more frustrating because of his involvement in our lives. Because here's the thing, right? The one thing you know about swineherds, to be a good swineherd, what do you need? Some swine, right? And guess what he did? He kind of sort of appeared to annihilate their whole herd of swine. Makes their job as swineherds pretty tough. So, it says, the swineherds ran away, and when they came to the town, they reported everything, including what had happened to the demoniacs. Thereupon the whole town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their district. That's the line right there. They begged him to leave their district. That's what really jumped out at me as I was praying with this. Have there been times in our lives where we've looked at the Lord when things are really tough, and we're saying, Jesus, my life was so much simpler, it seemed like, before you showed up. Before I met you, before I took my faith seriously, my life was so much more predictable before you were part of it. I thought being your disciple would introduce this calm, this peace, that things would get easier, not harder. This is who he is, though. He's the great interrupter. He's the great inverter. He's the one who loves us so much to not leave us where we are, right? He's so passionate about liberating us from our idols, from falsities that claim our allegiance. What he's always doing, he's always readying us for glory. That's what his project is in your life. I want to prepare you for glory. I want to prepare you to become the kind of creature that can withstand infinite love, infinite bliss, infinite joy, forever. I'm readying your heart. Here's the point, that your swine, my swine, whatever your swine is, it will eventually be drowned in the sea of his mercy, either in this life or in purgatory. And what is your swine? What's my swine? It's whatever you and I, whatever we cling to harder than him. Whatever you turn to before you turn to him. Whatever you reach for before reaching for him. That which you think you need more than him. Whatever you desperately hold on to with a tighter grip. He will eventually drown it in the sea of his mercy. That's what he'll do. Because his heart is saying to your heart, I can't let you think you need these swine more than you need me. I had the image of folks who fall into very deep and serious drug addiction. Who they have a wife or kids, they got a whole beautiful family, a job, and that it just spirals down and down. And they just become willing to sacrifice these things along the way, sacrificing their family, sacrificing their marriage, sacrificing friends, career, health, all of it just to get one more precious high. We're often in some ways, I know it's dramatic, but we're often in some ways the same, right? In the Lord, in his mercy, in his goodness for us, and his love for us, he's saying, I'm going to love you with a tough love, with a father's love, that says, I can't let you anchor your heart in anything but me. I can't let you make your life about something other than me. Because Jesus is not just, he's not just this sort of sprinkly fairy dust that accentuates our lives or that makes our lives a little bit better. No, he's the all-consuming fire of glory and love and mercy. He's, in the words of C.S. Lewis, he's Aslan, who's anything but safe or tame. He's good. So here's the question for you and I to reflect on, for you and me to reflect on. What is it in your life that if Jesus touched it or looked at it, would elicit that response from the townspeople, like no, Lord, go away. You can have everything but this. What is it in your life that you would say to the Lord, Lord, leave my life. I don't want you. I want this. Or whatever it is in your mind that says this plus Jesus is better than Jesus alone. That's not an equation that's real. That's not real. And the advice I'm just giving to myself and to all of us is it's best to give it to him now. Like these purifications, these purgations are going to be a lot less painful now than in purgatory. I'll put it this way, begin to ask for the grace to simply unclench your fist around whatever that is. He might not, our great fear is he's just going to snatch it right away. He may. He also may just leave it sitting in your palm, as if to say, I just want you to have a detachment around this thing. Gadarene demoniacs, drowned pigs, and our hearts. It all goes together.